Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Lisa Dublin. I do apologize for the late start, but today we're going to talk about how to deepen motivation before you go after a goal. So, wherever you're watching me from, welcome to the show. This is Basement Chronicles Live. If you're on Facebook, whether you are on YouTube, LinkedIn, and welcome to Instagram as well. I do apologize for the late start. I was gonna like do the board this morning, but we couldn't get like the mics and so on to work. So we're sitting down. Hey Jasmara, how are you? I see you, girl. We want to talk about deepening motivation this morning, and I've got some very practical and simple ways that if something doesn't come naturally to you, but you want to make it a goal, then these are some of the ways that you can deepen motivation. Are you ready? First question is, have you identified your goals for 2025? Do you have those? They call them BHAGS, big, hairy, audacious goals. Do you have some of those as well as those goals you absolutely want to focus upon in 2025 because it's almost like they are essential? You know that you should be perhaps focusing on health, on your wealth, on your money, that kind of thing, but you have not made it a goal and you're planning to, but it doesn't come naturally to you. So I'll be having a workshop on the 24th of November where I will take you through that 7-step process, beginning with desire, then motivation, which is what we've been looking at from Wednesday. We did it yesterday, Thursday, and of course today, Friday. Please like and share this video. Have you done that? Like the video, share the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Basement Chronicles. That would be great. Let's get started. So, if you want to make something a goal, and you need to have the motivation because it's going to get hard. I always start with the very simple one of exercise that so many people struggle with. Some people have no problems, right? But a lot of people struggle with maintaining just having a regular exercise routine because they're not motivated. Like, why should I? Not even sickness, nothing of the sort gets them going, to actually do what they're supposed to do. So you've got to tie the new goal to your values. And we looked at that yesterday. I wish I had my board. Oh my goodness. We just took off everything because it just wasn't working. Let's say you have the goal, you have a value that is family. You love your family and you do anything for them, but you haven't quite in your head made the link of, you know what? I absolutely need to exercise, keep my body in shape, because that means I will be around longer for my family. You can do that. That is one of the ways to get yourself, into the whole exercise. Every time you don't want to do it, remember that you've got a value of family. So I actually teach clients to link the upcoming goals or the future goals to their values, because then it becomes much easier for you to do anything. So if it is that I want to be around for my family, I want to see my grandkids, I don't want anybody taking care of my children, I want to do it myself, I want to be around for them. And for that to happen, I need to actually exercise. So every time you don't want to do the goal, you remind yourself that it is linked to a value and you tell yourself why. So once you've done that, there are practical ways for you to keep the motivation going. Write it down. I'm telling you, like right now, you can whip out your phone and you can write out the goal, the vision. That's step number 1. Write it out. In 2025, I want to be that regular exerciser. I want to be the person who is working out 3 times a week. Write it down. Once you write it down, there are many ways that you can now action the goal. You know how? Get pictures. That's where the vision board comes in, you guys. I'm not going to be long this morning. I have so much to do. My goodness, right? So once you've written it down, action it, develop the new goal. See yourself. If it is you want to lose 10 pounds and perhaps you were 10 pounds light at some point, go get those photos. Put them up on the vision board. If you're going after a certain financial goal, get the number, get the, I know one time I was in a mastermind doing vision boards, whatever, and somebody's goal was to qualify for, I think, was it the black? There's a Visa Black, like, when you have a high net worth that you qualify for it. And that person went out and she got photos of that credit card, as in it would represent for her having ascended into that realm of wealth. And she got it. After a while, she actually did. So whatever the goal is, you write it down. The second thing is, now you begin to envision it. And part of that envisioning is to do the vision board. Get the photos that will support this new goal. Hi, good morning. Somebody on Facebook says, good morning, Lisa. Good morning to you. Hi there. So whatever the goal is, you need to absolutely go and action it. Get the vision board, write it down, stick up the photos, put it on your mirror in the bathroom. Put it on your computer, put the photos where you can see them. Another thing that really helps me when I'm going after a new goal is to see myself doing it. I spend a lot of time, like, I guess, I work on my own, so I'm alone a lot while my husband goes out to work, right? And so I've got a lot of time to kind of be in my head. And a lot of the time, perhaps even while I'm maybe running or cooking, cleaning, whatever, I'm seeing myself doing the thing, seeing myself driving what I want to drive, speaking to who I want to speak to, coaching who I want to coach, speaking on whatever stage is in my future. You see what I'm saying? You can do the same thing for yourself. Part of actioning, what I call actioning the goal, even before you get into getting it, is to do that envisioning exercise all the time. Write it down, get the photos that would support, do the vision board thing. But that's not all. Now you mentally use your mind and imagination to bring that future goal into your present. The third thing that I would say, and it's not mine, I actually learned it from the book Think and Grow Rich. You guys know I always speak about that book. It's a lovely book. It's a seminal book. It's one of those books, like, when you read it, you get an upgrade in your thinking. And what I like about it too, you take those principles in that book and they can be applied to the rest of life and to the rest of other goals, even apart from going after wealth. Okay, you love that book? Good. Facebook user says, love that book. Exactly. In that book, there is a chapter on auto suggestion. Go and please read that chapter. I'm not being prescriptive, just saying what has worked for me and sharing that value with you, because obviously the whole goal is, let's all win in life. Let's get unstuck. Let's find strategies to go after the things that we want to do. That chapter on auto suggestion, I would ask you to add it to your regimen for going after a new goal. And I speak about it in the course, in the program we're going to be doing on the 24th of November. It's one of the areas, one of the ways that literally I have upgraded my life. And the chapter on auto suggestion rests on the premise that if you say something over and over again in deep belief, fueled with emotions of faith and belief, and just seeing it, if you have it that way, not just saying, okay, well, you know what, I next year I am going to get my degree, and you just leave it there. No, next year I see myself getting that degree. I'm going to get a Bachelor of Science. I'm going to complete that degree and I'm going to graduate. I see myself on the stage walking across and getting my degree, right? Okay. Got it when I used to go to Trump workshops. Okay, absolutely. Yeah. And say what you want, and I'm not getting into politics. Oh my gosh, no. One of the things I've read about Trump is how deeply in his early years he was taught to believe in himself, which is why he still says stuff like, if you say something enough times, people are going to believe, right? If you say it to yourself enough times in the right emotion, your mind is going to start to find ways to make it happen. Let me give you a good example. People have taken from Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, and they have further developed it. So, for example, you have people like Bob Proctor, who now takes that concept of auto-suggestion and says, if you want to get into wealth, one of the things you can do for auto-suggestion is to say morning and evening um, confessions about having multiple streams of income, and he actually has one. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. That is one of those confessions that he says, and he says to say, and to, he's like, if you know what people did to get where they are, why would you not do it? Does that make sense? Why would you not do it? Auto suggestion works for getting wealth. It also works for going after your goals. And so you write out, you write it out, you put the vision down, you now begin to speak it out. I see myself, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am 150 pounds. I'm so happy and grateful now that I work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes a time. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have finished my degree. You guys, these things seem so simplistic, so childlike, that the adults miss them. And in missing them, we go round and round the hard way to get to what we want. But all of these things, in terms of the imagination and the mental training or conditioning of your mind through auto-suggestion, all of these things help you to prepare for the action to come. This is just the mental preparation. And so you want to have this new goal start today. Write it down. Go find the photos. Do the vision board. Then you're going to begin to speak about it in that way, almost like it's a done deal. And one thing I've taken from between Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor is saying it day and night. Say it in the morning, say it before you go to bed. So that's the first thing that you remember when you wake up, because it would have been the last thing, perhaps, hopefully, that you remember from the night before. Auto suggestion works. And you don't have to do it, except that I think the proof is in the doing, and then seeing how the things that you say manifest. All of the things come into play. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Go back through your life. It works for good and it works for bad. Unfortunately, I know somebody who always said that I'm not going to die old. I don't want to give anybody trouble. Right? I don't want to give anybody trouble. I'm not dying old. This person said that until she died in her early 50s. Again, repeat it over and over again. Guess what happens? What you say is what you get. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, you are right. Whether you say it or not and you believe it, that's what it is. Okay? And so another way that, I really take that goal, that new goal, and I begin to make it real in my mind, I get excited and I begin to talk about it to the people who matter. I'm not one to be talking about my business before it happens. I hope that's it for you as well. But to your partner, to your family, to the people who support you, begin to get excited about that goal. Begin to talk to them about it. Begin to say, when I get this and when I do this, and try to say to the people who are in your corner. It's no sense saying it to the party poopers, to the people who will be like, no, you're not going to do that, and are going to try to dim your light. No, forget them. But if you have a couple people who can support you in going after the new goal, begin to talk up the goal and to stir up the enthusiasm to go after it. When I get into that dress, we're going out. And when I write that book, you and I, we are taking a trip. I'm going to take you out for a drink or whatever. Begin to talk it up. It's going to help you to keep that motivation burning and to get you the support you need around you to get to the goal. Okay, you guys? So this is how you deepen motivation when it's not there naturally. Also, one has to write down all the distractions that can interfere with the goal. Oh my goodness, this person sounds like they've done a get your goal workshop. I actually have this as part of the workshop that we're going to be doing on the 24th. I mean, on the 24th, one of the steps that I put in there to go towards getting your goal is to plan for your distractions, plan for obstacles. And obstacles could be distractions, threats, as well as your weaknesses. So I'm so happy. You know what? Where is my phone? I don't have my phone there, you guys. But it's okay. I wanted to see if I could just call out names. But thank you for that comment right there, Facebook user. I just can't see the names now. Hey, beautiful. Hey, Lady G, how are you? Good morning. Thanks for being here. I'm just saying hi to my Instagram crowd there this morning. So you guys, so that thing about distractions is very true. I might as well go there a little bit because you have to prepare. And when you see the level of your preparation, it tells you how ready you are to go after that goal. Because one of the earliest things is you want to do something new in 2025. Have you identified the time where in your week, where in your busy schedule are you going to put aside to go after that goal? It's one of the earliest signs that you're serious or not. And don't get depressed if you recognize that, okay, yes, I'm saying that I want to go after this new thing, but when I look at myself, oh my goodness, I have not decided when I'm going to do it. Okay, all you do, don't get depressed. You can just stop right now and say, I'm going to have to give up maybe watching that TV show and put in that slot, that hour slot, time to do this new goal, time to maybe work out, go to the gym if that's something, or even something like, I remember I had to do this one literally, just wanting to eat properly and get my diet in order, make time for meal prep. Right, Lady G? Make time for it. That's one of the earliest the signs that you're serious. If you're wanting to lose weight, get in shape and do better with your diet, you have to identify time for meal prep because it's not going unless you have a food service delivering the good food to you. It's not going to happen. So you have these are the signs. So you watch yourself. You watch to see how serious you are. Observe yourself and help yourself along by putting the things in place. So we are going to look at dealing with distractions, threats, and weaknesses as part of the goal setting process. So, but today it really is start with the motivation. When you're done here, like last night, I was, preparing, doing the same exercise, and I just whipped out my phone, went into the note section, and again, just wrote out again the goals for 2025. That constant rewriting of them sometimes just keeps you motivated. Okay. And once you will be able to do that, start to see yourself in the goal, start to see yourself doing the thing. Become a kid again. I swear, like the older I get, the more I realize it's very necessary to preserve that childlike quality of enthusiasm, of going after a goal with everything you have, with that almost innocent expectation that it's going to happen for you. Okay. Facebook's user says, I did it and it works for me, so I believe it can work for anyone. Facebook user, can you do something for me? Can you put your name? Who is this? I'm sure if I go on Facebook, I'll be able to see you, but it's just that I can't see you in StreamYard for some reason. It's just showing up as Facebook user. But I swear I know you. It sounds like somebody I just absolutely know. Right? But it does work. You write down the distractions and you plan for them. Right? When I get a call, I'm not going to take calls during such and such a time. So that way I give myself the time for me to get my goal, to work on my goal. Or one thing I had to deal with very early, and I think I've dealt with it nicely now. One of my weaknesses was as soon as somebody asked me to do something, oh my gosh, yeah, I'll do it, whatever. Yes, okay, sure. And then you go and count the cost. Hey, Roxy Baron. Okay, thank you. Hi, Sassy Roxy. Right? After I've said yes and committed, then I'd go count the cost and be like, oh my gosh, I should not have. So, one of the things that I learned to do in preparation for making more time for myself and preserving the little time that I have was to think ahead to somebody asking me to do something that I hadn't expected, and to train myself in the moment to say, okay, I'll think about it and I'll get back to you. Yes, we've got to set those boundaries. And it saved me a couple of relationships too, because, to say yes and then to go back and be like, well, I can't do it. Most people will get pissed with every right, and so now before I commit, I'll be like, okay, let me think about it. I'll check my schedule, see whether it fits into the things that I've got planned or not, or whether I can accommodate it. And then I go back and give an answer. So that way you prepare for your own weaknesses. It was the weakness to people please and to just help everybody. But no, you've got to take the time for yourself, right? So we're talking about deepening motivation. And I have to admit, I find as people get older, they just get ordinary. And I don't say that with any judgment, except to encourage us to get back into the place of putting the excitement back in your life. Putting, but putting excitement back, putting, what should I say? Dreaming big again. This concept of a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. Do you have one for 2025, or are you just going small and just trying to just do the regular? You know, there's no room for God if you're not going to go after a big, hairy, audacious goal. That's when God shows up, and that's when he shows out, because he's like, well, clearly this is too big for you and you know it. So it means you are automatically going to rely on a force that's bigger than you to get it done. And that's where God loves to flex and to show you who he is. Okay. So don't forget, we're going after deepening motivation for these goals that we want to set for 2025. I know December is coming up, and people are going to get into the festive season. But what I've realized over the years of going after goals in a serious and measured way, it makes sense to start planning for 2025, God willing, from now. And I don't mean that you start to do the action. I mean, mentally start to prepare in the ways that I'm mentioning here today. Start to prepare for the upcoming year. Because if you wake up on January 1, 2025, and you're like, oh, I've eaten all the food, I've had a great time, I'm now traveling back to my country, now let me look around, what shall I be doing in this year? By the time you're ready, check yourself, January will be gone. You've lost a month when you could have just begun to do the prep work from now. Begin to desire something, begin to want more from life, right? I love that poem by, is it Jerry Rittenhouse, that talks about, he says that he asked life for a penny, and that's what life came back with, right? Only for him to realize that life would have paid whatever he had asked for. So my whole point is, don't just settle, you guys. For me, the reason I won't settle is because I've got backing. Oh yeah, I've got backing. I've got God. It's a big God. Okay. If I didn't, and it was in my own strength, then I would just do the regular. But when you know whose you are, you know how far you can go. Not so? Can I get an amen? All right, I'm going to be short this morning. We're done. So tomorrow I begin in earnest on YouTube. I think only, definitely won't be on LinkedIn. I begin to do overflow again. One of the things about me, I think one of the areas I'm most passionate about, if you're rocking with me, you'll probably know that, is my relationship with God. I think he's awesome. And I think I kind of want to give him just the space to just talk about him and him alone. So we're going to do that on a Saturday morning going forward. I think too, the added motivation for me is, now that my new book is out, it's called Worship at Midnight 31. It's a devotional, you guys. Yes, God is amazing. Yeah. So I'll be on at 6 a.m. the same time. Mountain Standard Time. So that would be 8 a.m. EST. And if you're watching me from the lovely Caribbean, that would be 9 a.m. So I'm not sure how you're going to make it work, but maybe you can check the replay. But I'd love if you would join me at that time, wherever you are. And we're going to start to speak about the power of worship and the power of the things that I've discovered that, midnight worship is. You guys, I'm going to leave that for tomorrow because that's a whole other story. That's a whole other ball game, okay? If you are desperate for any answer from God, or things are going haywire and you're like, what is going on? This is definitely an answer. A midnight worship is a sacrifice acceptable unto God, a sacrifice that He will honor for your doing it with the right heart, with the right motive, etc. But the two things that I've realized from, just being obedient to God's leading over the last year, thereabout, is that in the place of obedience is where radical obedience will give you radical results. Okay? Radical obedience to God is going to give you radical results. And like, I didn't know very much about praying at midnight, that kind of thing, except that I felt led to do it. It has led to a book, and we even did 3 days together. I got a group of people together, came together for 3 days, and every day was increasingly more powerful. Every single day just went up in presence of God, recognizing revelation. Just it's a powerful place to be. And so I want to reserve Saturday mornings to talk about my God, because He's all that. Your God. Okay. So join me. I'm on YouTube. If you want to be reminded of it, maybe you can go over to Basement Chronicles on YouTube right now and subscribe. And then you press the bell button so that every time I go live, you will be informed. So please do that. So when I go live tomorrow, you can be informed and you can just join me on YouTube right there, because I won't be putting it everywhere. It will be on Watch Radio for sure, and maybe Facebook, and but not Instagram, you guys, and definitely not LinkedIn. I don't think, yes, you have a passion, but I mean, do things in order now. It's not the platform for it. That's what I mean, right? So it's going to live on YouTube. It's called Overflow. Join me for an hour. We're going to get into the Word of God and speak about worship and faith in particular. I like these two aspects of God, like faith, having faith, that whole concept of it. And now the majesty for me as a creative, the majesty of worship is it's full of possibility for anybody who has any kind of creative gift. So join me tomorrow for that, and I hope you join me. I hope we have a good time talking about God and just the things of God tomorrow. But anyway, hope to see you on the 24th as well. I'm going to be here, so what I've committed to is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to be on the platform speaking about inspiration, professionalism, speaking, the works. On Saturday, however, we just are going to crush on God. All right. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Roxy Baron, also known as Sassy Roxy. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Take care.